The rambling Geordie.
Do you want to hear something that reeks of elite detachment and virtue signalling hypocrisy? Well then look no further than Man United footballer turned pundit Gary Neville, who's once again proven just how far removed he is from the realities of everyday Britain. Following the horrific Islamic terror attack on a Manchester synagogue last week, where a suspect who was quite aptly named Jihad drove his car into pedestrians and then got out and stabbed a load of them, Neville's had the audacity to point the finger not at the guy who did it, not at the perpetrator called Jihad, but at angry middle-aged white men for creating division in our society. Now stifle your rage just for a second, okay? So the attacker, identified as a man of Middle Eastern descent, motivated by anti-Semitic rage, has nothing to do with the white working class blokes Neville loves to demonise. Yet in his warped worldview, it's the Union Jack-waving patriots who are the real villains, apparently for daring to display national pride. Now, Neville's comments came about when he lamented the negative connotations associated with the British flag, even going so far as to reveal he'd removed it from one of his luxury hotels in Manchester just to avoid offending anyone. How fucking noble of you. Now, while ordinary Mancunians reel from yet another act of terror on their streets, which coincidentally echoes the scars of the 2017 Ariana Grande concert bombing, Neville sits in his multi-million-pound bubble preaching about division caused by middle-aged men putting up flags. Sorry, middle-aged white men putting up flags. Look, this isn't insight. It's fucking stupidity. The synagogue attack was carried out by an individual shouting anti-Jewish slurs, not some bloke from the pub waving a St. George's cross. But then again, facts don't matter when you're virtue signalling to the metropolitan elite, do they? Now, what makes Neville's outburst particularly galling is his just blatant hypocrisy. This is a man worth an estimated £25 million, with a property empire that includes high-end hotels and developments across Manchester. He rubs shoulders with celebrities, politicians and billionaires, far from the gritty realities of the working class communities that he claims to champion. Remember, this is the same Gary Neville who, during the pandemic, furloughed staff at his hotel while pocketing government handouts. Yes, he did face backlash for not dipping into his own deep pockets, but to me, well, that's just not enough, is it? Now, though, he's lecturing the very people who built the Britain he profits from. The white working class men who toil in factories, drive lorries and keep the lights on, all while watching their neighbourhoods change beyond recognition due to unchecked immigration and cultural shifts. Now, Neville's comments aren't just out of touch. They're fucking dangerous. By deflecting blame from the actual perpetrator onto a demographic that's already scapegoated for everything from Brexit to economic woes, he fuels the very division that he pretends to decry. Social media erupted in a rightful fury. You would expect it, wouldn't you? With users calling him a prick and accusing him of ignoring the Islamist roots of the attack. Even Labour ministers have backed him, proving how insulated the political class is from public sentiment. Now, look, let's be clear, the white working class ain't the problem. These are the very backbone of this country, the ones who suffer the consequences the most of elite policies like mass migration without consultation. They don't have the luxury of Neville's gated estates or private security. They live in the communities where integration fails and tensions ultimately boil over. Now Neville, with his champagne socialism, embodies the chasm between the haves and the have-nots. He virtue signals from afar, blaming angry white men for societal ills while profiting from the system that exacerbates them. If Neville truly cared about unity, he'd address the real issues. Radical ideologies that inspire attacks on synagogues, churches and concert halls. Instead, he opts for the lazy stereotypes that alienate millions. Sky Sports has predictably decided not to punish him, shielding their golden boy from accountability. But we, the public, see through it all. Neville isn't a voice for the people, he's a symbol of everything wrong with Britain's out-of-touch elite. Time to bench this pundit for good, because his commentary is as outdated as his football career. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, because that would really help me. If you like the video, press like, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.
Don't be daft, man.